I had gone abroad to study, came back, and somewhere I was a little. It never interested me. I studied because they asked me to study. Those days they told you either become a doctor or an engineer or an MBA. The only thing that bothers me if they write anything about my family.
Yeah,
that is the only thing. They write about me, also I'm okay.
One way of looking at it is it's the media's job to report and write what they have to write, and that defines the kind of media they are.
True.
That's their job. I mean, but at the same time, I don't have to react to it. It's up to me. And like Dad said, unless it is something about family or something personal that needs to be corrected, correct it. Otherwise, it's okay. Don't react. News replaces news. Tomorrow it's forgotten.
For me, it's Amala. So in my lowest phases. So
yeah, what whatever. A strong woman.
Yeah, so I always emotional. I can talk, and she will listen even for an hour without saying something. Sometimes in the position I am, everybody thinks I have no issues, no problems, and I always have to deal with problems and give answers to everybody. With Chay, I discuss about certain things which I'm not sure whether I should do or I not do, where I'm in confusion.
He's the voice of reason.
Yeah, he's always been like that. For my younger boy, I look at in the sense, I'll just ask him whether good, bad, and he'll say it right away. There's no reasoning there.
How did you break the news that you want to become an actor to your father, or did you already know? Because you have a very interesting story.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but mine, I had gone abroad to study, came back, and somewhere I was a little. It never interested me. I studied because they asked me to study. Those days they told you either become a doctor or an engineer or an MBA.
तब तो यही था.
There was only these three things they said: either the doctor, engineer, or this thing. So I was a little bit into engineering and those things. So I said, okay, I'll become an engineer. No interest at all. So I did, and also I did and came back. To tell you the truth, it was more to engineering means I can say I can go. You can send me abroad. And imagine in the 70s, late 70s, to be able to go abroad when you're 17, 18 years old, get away from home. So that I took that opportunity, went, and once I came back, I was least interested to do anything with
studies and engineering.
No, to do with anything to do with that. And we had this studio even then, and there were shoots going on, and I would come here and watch. And one fine day, I didn't have the courage to tell him. Not because I was scared of him.
Yeah.
That he sent me all the way there and spent all this money on me, and now I come back and say I want to act. Why couldn't I have said it before? Right? He would have probably said yes.
So see, you guys also have the same problems as us, which people feel that it's not the way, but it's the same.
Right. So I could have, when my brother said, if that's what you want to do, I will tell him, my older brother.
How sweet.
So he told, and I saw tears in my father's eyes. And he was so happy because by then my brother said he's not interested.
Yeah.
So for his legacy to continue, any father, what he's built over decades, to let it go, his legacy to continue, I think it was immense for him. And he said, of course.
Yeah, that is true.
That is what I want.
But good. And your story, how difficult was it for you to... Because you had a similar story. You also went abroad to study, if I'm not wrong.
No, I didn't go. I did my schooling in Chennai. Then I came to Hyderabad for college. So it was after I came here, that the bug sort of bit me. But I told Dad, and they were more than happy. It was not a struggle, or I was not scared about it or anything. But they immediately accepted. In fact, they sent me to Bombay for a small acting course, to actually cross-check if, the bug is really there. So I went to Bombay and did this small acting course and came back and told them that, yes, this is definitely what I want to do. So then I went abroad, studied a little acting, got the exposure, and came back and started.
I want to ask you this, both of you. एक तो होता है when people don't know you So you are allowed to make mistakes.
Right.
You will not be crucified or you will not be judged for it.
Right.
And when people know you, you can't even have golgappa on a street, or do you? Matlab, I want to know how normal is your life beyond the cameras, and how normal do you want to keep it? Because unfortunately, we live in a society where cameras are following you everywhere,
Right.
like except your own houses. So, do you miss doing something because of the stardom?
Yeah, absolutely. I miss doing things sometimes, chill out with my friends and go wherever you want. But I've gotten used. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't even think that I want to have a golgappa outside.
Yeah, I think.
The golgappas are my favorite.
I'll treat you to that.
My favorite.
The
Even
Bengali
now, I
version,
get golgappas and sit at home and eat.
You have to try fuchka. It's
Okay.
the Bengali version.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's different from golgappa, and abhi yahan pe I'm just subtle plug-in for all Bengalis. It's better than golgappa. I think.
Okay.
And what about you? Do you
Yeah.
miss doing anything?
Of course, I miss all the simple things, but at the same time, I try to do it as much as possible in my own way, because one is, of course, I miss it, but the other is, I think it sort of keeps us in check with reality.
Yeah.
The small things, what people are up to outside, the emotions, like a simple example, like probably going and eating golgappa on the road, you're around that environment which teaches you so much, where you can pick up so much that you can reflect on your acting as well. So I try to do these things as much
But
as
you
possible.
do you go in disguise, or do you go like?
One thing I do is I ride a motorcycle a lot. I wear a helmet, so that's
Nobody gets to know.
Yeah, so that I really enjoy, being in the traffic, being amongst the people, in the signals and all that.
He will love Bombay. He loves being in the traffic. We are perpetually in traffic. I was just telling Niharika when we were coming from the hotel, there's an entire row when we are going back basically, and I had to come back. I'm like, itna traffic? And it's still better than Bombay,
yeah.
because you're stuck in traffic for one and a half
Right.
hours. But at the same time, I want to ask you that today is the world of social media. So keeping things to yourself also is not right, and you can't do it, unfortunately. I remember this interview that I did with all the 90s actors, whether it's Karisma Kapoor, Tabu, Juhi Chawla, and they say that हम लोग ना ऐसे एयरपोर्ट पे बालों में तेल लगा के चले जाते थे. Who would be there? We didn't care much. It was a life of luxury.
Yeah.
Today you have to be proper. If you go wrong, there can be criticism from every corner. Does that bother you? You're not on social media though, but does
Not
that?
much.
Yeah, but does
Not.
that bother you, or do you keep it to the way you were?
I just behave the way I was before. Somebody wants to take a picture, take it. It's already done and done with. And you're going to show me in a bad angle, that's also okay. Do it. I don't much give importance to it. I use it as a tool now, where I need to use it for my film publicities, promotions. That's it. I definitely don't like to put out what I drink what coffee I'm having, what toast I'm eating, what omelette I'm eating. I don't like to put out that, or what am I going to do that day. Oh, I have 200,000 likes. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
Yeah, it is great. It is great that
I'm just not into that.
What about
My
you?
Twitter notifications are always off.
Off.
I say what I have to say, and that's it.
But what about you?
Pretty similar, actually.
Yeah, but how do you manage to do that? I've seen that in you and in your post. You maintain that dignity even when it's on social media. You post about books, you post about your cars. Like when I go through Chay's social media, it has to be about cars or books or something that he's maybe picked up, or something that he's learned from something, or something he's learning, which is great. I think it's real in a time when people are running behind numbers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just post when something really just, sparks. And
That morning.
Yeah, like
Something
it
like
has
that.
to be really random and out of nowhere. If something's really influencing me and I want to share it with the people I post. Otherwise, that's about it. Or during film times for promotions. Otherwise, social media doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I know. That's
all.
Yeah, I think too much of it also, people stop getting interested in you.
Yeah. Anything, too much of anything is not good.
You keep on telling what I'm doing, your philosophy in life. Yeah, why do I need to know about your philosophy in life? I have my own.
Best. Why do I need to know? But at the same time, sir, I take it on media that sometimes media can be, I don't know media here, but pan-India media, especially in Bombay, they can get a little more intrusive. How do you stop that? How do you stop getting affected? Or have you ever, like, do you remember a time when you got really affected by what was written about you in the media? And especially you, when you started, or it bothers you the first time or the second time a lot.
Right. The only thing that bothers me if they write anything about my family.
Yeah,
that is the only thing. They write about me, also I'm okay. I always think unless there's fruit in the tree, they won't throw stones, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's my father. There's a Telugu saying to it, which I follow. You know, so it's okay. It's no big deal. But there's something they write nasty about the family and personally, create things, especially these days, the YouTube channels are just getting...
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I don't know, just for the subscribe this thing and whatever it is, you open... I don't even feel like opening YouTube. I just keep on... every time I see, I have to go into the top dot lines and say, not interested. Not interested. I think I do it 20 times a day.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, sir, because like sometimes, I'm not saying it for effect, but sometimes when I see all this, and if I see like a media publication or whatever doing it, then I genuinely question, and most of them are running after numbers, right? And they're doing it. Yeah. So I sometimes feel like, is it good to be in the minority and like calling out? Now I've started calling out. When I don't like a certain headline or something, I just call out. I'm like, what is this rubbish? So yeah, but I do feel that it goes against my own people as well, but at the same time, I don't know what else to do or how else to be. What about you? How do you deal with this constant intrusion?
See, there's one way of looking at it is, it's the media's job to report and write what they have to write. And that defines the kind of media they are. True. That's their job. I mean, but at the same time, I don't have to react to it. It's up to me. And like Dad said, unless it is something about family or something personal that needs to be corrected, correct it. Otherwise, it's okay. Don't react. News replaces news. Tomorrow it's forgotten. But
did you never get affected in the beginning of your career? Because whenever I've spoken to actors our age, they've always said that the first time or the second time, like Alia, Ranbir and Varun and all these people, they've said, you worked with them, you will know that they got really affected the first time it happened to them. Like, they're not ready for that.
Absolutely. I went through that process too. Initially, in my initial days, it's like, oh, okay, now do I have to react, not react? What's there to do? But then you start growing up, you start, figuring it out. And now I've come to this stage in my life where I'm very comfortable by not reacting.
There was no stage where I was shocked. I was just shocked because I've come from an era where there's nothing there.
Yeah. Right. But that time, sir, बहुत गंदे तरीके के stories होते थे, मतलब in magazine and tabloids.
But it's not on your face in the morning.
I have read stories. They're shocking. If anybody writes it now, there will be defamation cases against everybody.
Shocked.
Yeah. But did you ever get shocked like reading something like that? You don't have to mention what.
Yeah, even reading those days, those film magazines were there, no? My God! What?
But did you ever feel powerless? What I feel is that we talk about actors, we talk about actors' lives. We wouldn't do something like that to our own people. Sometimes that we write or we do like the way we affect you guys. At the same time, you are in a position of power, yet powerless, because if you react, it's going to grab even more headlines.
Yes.
Did you feel that ever?
For me, yeah. I felt powerless. Now I think that's the power.
Yeah, I agree with him totally.
Now, absolutely, I feel that as a power not to react.
Yeah.
That
because that is a power by itself. By being able to not react, I think that is empowering by itself.
So absolutely not to react. And now I don't even look. I know where to go. Like he said, I know what media reports what or what news channel reports where. And I only have those news channel on my phone.
Lovely.
Which I don't want to see. It's not there. The only thing, I don't know how to get rid of YouTube because I watch a lot of TED Talks and things like that. A lot of these things which I'm not able to get rid of. So one fine day, I hope with this not interested, they will vanish from my phone.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I hope that, I hope that we reach a place where media publications are also more respectful and dignified. Like, not cover troll stories, maybe whatever. But at the same time, this movie has an inherent emotion attached to family, and because I stay away from my family, and I keep missing them on my greatest days. Like I miss them during my celebrations, and I miss them during my lowest days. Like I miss my mother, and I don't know that she has this sense, and she'll call me immediately. You wouldn't even know. Who has been your emotional anchor? And family में जब होता है तो arguments भी होता है. So I want to know what are the things that you guys argue on, and who has been your emotional anchor from the family during your lowest days?
For me, it's Amala. So in my lowest phases. So
Yeah, what a strong woman.
Yeah, so I always emotional. I can talk, and she will listen even for an hour without saying something. That was that when you need to talk, and sometimes in the position I am, everybody thinks I have no issues, no problems, and I always have to deal with problems and give answers to everybody. Not just family. I'm talking about people working under me or wherever, doing a film, this, that.
People idolizing you.
Everybody thinks I have the answer for everything, but I need some answers sometime. So yeah, she's been that anchor for me. Yeah.
And what about you?
I talk to mom and dad equally. I talk to dad about certain things. I talk to mom about certain things. So yeah, both of them.
Growing
up, and also now certain ways I have both my sons also. I have to mention. They're anchors in two different ways, both of them. They have two different personalities completely. So I segregate my...
Like in what ways? What can you discuss with him? What can you discuss with... Because I also have a brother who's 10 years older than me. And my father says the same thing. I'll tell you why. You say, I'll tell you why.
I will say, if she... I can discuss... With Chay, I discuss about certain things which I'm not sure whether I should do or I not do, where I'm in confusion.
He's the voice of reason.
Yeah, he's always been like that. He will reason it out. He's always a devil's advocate. Things that I look for him for that. And for my younger boy, I look at in the sense, I'll just ask him whether good, bad, and he'll say it right away. There's no reasoning there.
Black or white?
Black. There's no reason. He's also black and white, but he'll
reason it out.
He will ask the right questions. Right questions. So that is a big anchor for me. When I go, I ask. So I need some answers sometime, which I get stuck.
Yeah. So my father has this habit of missing his medicines, and I feel that he's been the coolest when I was a child. He's saved me from a lot of maar and pitai from my mother. But I feel I'm the strictest father to him when he doesn't take medicine. So my brother is like, gives him leeway. So my brother sometimes becomes, convenience ke hisab se favorite badal jate hai. Otherwise, problems will come to me because I'll listen and I'll hear him out and I'll give solutions like he said. And my brother will be like very impulsive. But when it comes to all this, like, not taking medicines, okay, one more peg maybe sometimes. So it's my brother. And I'm like, no, can't happen. So I'm the strictest. So that is how it is different. Right. But it is always like that.
Yeah.
So for anybody in my position, the kind of love and respect that you both gave me throughout the interview, it is, I will keep that in my heart forever. Like I'll remember this interview with a lot of fondness in my heart. Yeah. So thank you.
I'm sure I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, same here, Nayandeep. Like it was great having this conversation, and it's nice when it's a conversation rather than just
it also good conversations also makes you know about yourself.
Right.
Thoughts, they come out. Good conversation is always, that's why it's good.
So now whenever there's Brahmastra and Lal Singh Chadda, I am marking myself that I'm the first person they are going to give an interview to.
Okay.